If you're new to the channel, you might not know, but I'm trying to collect all of the Mario games across all platforms for net $0. I'm doing this mostly by buying big collections, keeping the games that I don't have, and selling the rest for a profit. If you want to catch up to where I am right now, you can watch the Mario Mania playlist on this channel. This will be the first longer form video on the playlist. The first potential deal here didn't really have anything to add to my collection, but he had some really interesting collectibles, including some video games. We messaged back and forth a little bit, but never nailed down a price. So I was driving an hour and a half away, not really knowing for sure if I was going to buy anything or not. I ended up staying for 30 or 40 minutes, going through a lot of stuff, and I'll cut to the video just after I left his house.
So that went pretty well. I didn't feel super comfortable filming in there, but I did end up buying all of his Nintendo stuff and 4 G.I. Joe action figures. So I'll show you that whenever I get to the house, but right now I've got to pick up the bundle of Switch games. This is all of the Switch stuff, which of course I'll go through all of that when I get home and show you. Definitely a lot of Mario titles that I get to keep for the collection, so excited about that.
I learned a lesson a while back. I bought some consoles from a guy and he shipped them to me. I was going through everything in the house and I noticed a tiny little cockroach and I killed it, and then I noticed another and I killed it. I probably killed 5 or 6. Thankfully we didn't get infested, but I learned that cockroaches like to make their nest in gaming consoles. So now I inspect consoles thoroughly before taking them inside to test, including giving them the old awkward sniff test, which is a real thing. I plugged in the N64 and it powered up with no issues. The NES gave me some trouble, but after changing out the RF adapter, I got it to work. The Super Nintendo would not power on for me. I did find a guy recently that fixes retro consoles, so I'll probably be out 30 bucks or so for the fix. Here are all the NES games that were part of the bundle. I'm honestly pretty impressed with the condition of most of these games. I'm probably going to take this one and trade it with the one in my collection because I can't imagine it's better than this. Bart versus the Space Mutants. I don't know if I've ever seen a copy of this game that wasn't totally trashed. So, pretty impressive. The highlight of the NES collection is this copy of Bucky O'Hare. And it's in really good condition. There's a few small blemishes, but overall, really great shape, probably better than price charting, I would think, on this one. There are a couple games here that I didn't really realize were here. I was putting together the price list based off the pictures that he sent. I don't think I added Nightmare on Elm Street to the price list. So this is like a $60 game, so that more than makes up for the problems with the Super Nintendo. I also don't think I had the Game Genie in there, so that's probably 20 bucks. I definitely didn't have any manuals, so that adds a little. And then pretty much all of these are sleeves, so if you sell the sleeves by themselves, they're like close to $1 a piece, maybe between 50 cents and $1. I'm just going to keep them with the games, but it does add a little bit of value. Here's some additional NES games that were in a different box. This copy of Gremlins 2 is actually super nice, much nicer than I expected, so I'll make up more money there. Captain Planet, Kirby's Adventure, Star Trek. This box is pretty bad, but I figured it would be. I didn't even figure for the boxed Game Genie, so I've definitely more than made up for the Super Nintendo not working correctly. I've got Manhattan Project, Legend of Zelda. Pretty great shape. Terminator. Also really good shape. Couple copies of Mega Man 2. And Mega Man 3. Here are all the Super Nintendo games. Turtles 4, Turtles in Time. That's a pretty good one. Battletoads and Double Dragon. I think that one's decent. There are a couple manuals that he threw in too. For all the Nintendo stuff, I paid $1,100, which is probably somewhere around 55 to 60% of the total value, which is where I generally like to be. So I'm pretty happy with that first purchase. I want to throw a few comps up on the screen for the G.I. Joes that I got. This guy is Snake Eyes. I didn't know about this, but apparently the ones with straight arms are the older ones, so they go for more. Snake Eyes is actually fully complete, and I've got the card that goes with it. So that actually adds quite a bit of value. This was super nostalgic for me. I remember this guy growing up, fully complete, a little yellowing, but I think I'll still make some money on it. Got the Falcon Pilot here. He's also fully complete with all of his gear. And this Cobra Commander looks like he's probably the best of the lot. Got the card that goes with him, and he's in really good shape. For the 4 G.I. Joes, I paid $200, which was a deal that we came up with partly because I spent $1,100 on his video games. Now I'll show you the Switch stuff from the second pickup. The first deal probably has more profit, but I was more excited about the second deal because of these games right here. I recently sold a lot of my Switch games to pay for 2 graded N64 Mario games, which I don't regret, but now I have to build back that part of my collection. I did the math, and after I keep back these 9 Mario games, selling everything else in the collection, I'll be right at break even, which means I will have added these games to the collection for net $0. I have to be pretty close to having the largest Mario collection, at least on YouTube. And so pretty soon I'm going to do a full video showing you everything that I have in my collection. I still have a lot to go. There's lots of games that I don't have, and I want to get boxes and manuals and make them complete, stuff like that. So if you're interested in this sort of thing, please hit the subscribe button, like this video, and until next time, thanks for watching.